Hey everyone, Stones here, coming at you with another recap video of everything that I got at yard sales, garage sales, estate sales, and a recycling event this past weekend. This is all that I've got, guys. This is what happens on the first weekend of October in Ohio. Weather held up. There was no rain. It was actually quite nice, but things are winding down. Today it's mid-80s. So I think the weather's going to hold up for quite a while. I typically still look for yard sales and garage sales through the end of October. In other words, I go out of my way looking for them. Now, if I see a sign November, I'm going to chase that yard sale, garage sale down, but I don't go out of my way looking for them. So if it wasn't for the recycling event, which even looks minimal at first glance, I probably wouldn't have much for this weekend. So let me get started with all the garage sale and yard sale finds. Sorry about the overcast on everything. I'm shooting this a little bit later than normal, so the sun's right above me. Anyways, on Thursday, did not find anything at all. Didn't spend any money, didn't find any yard sales or garage sales. Friday, I found two, and I spent a total of 50 cents at one. I bought this vintage Halloween pumpkin pail. If they say made in the USA, they're vintage, they're a little bit more collectible. They're normally thicker plastic. And I grabbed the ones that have a little bit more unusual look to them, unusual colors. So your standard orange ones with your triangle nose, triangle eyes, those aren't really worth anything. But these green colors, there's even black ones, blue ones, red ones. And with a little bit different, cooler looking face, they can have some value. That's all I found on Friday. On Saturday, on my way home from the recycling event, I stopped at a moving sale and found this pair of Justin boots. This is literally a couple blocks from my house. Paid $3 for these. They're quite dirty, but in very good condition. Justin is the name brand for work boots and cowboy boots. They're kind of the Nike of work boots and cowboy boots. Paid $3 for those. I'm expecting at least $40, $50, maybe even more for these. And then Sunday, today, on my way home from the gym, I stopped at a sale and picked up these vintage Star Trek model kits. The guy originally wanted 15 bucks a piece for them. Asked him if he'd take 20 for both. He agreed, so $10 a piece. I was hoping these would be worth a little bit more than what they are. They're worth about $20 a piece, so I'll double my money. What I'll probably end up doing is lotting these up together, so I save money in shipping, and I also don't see any listings for both of these kits together. So the original Enterprises, and then some of the bad guy vehicles, or the bad guy ships. So I think I'm going to put those together, put them up for $40 with plus shipping, and double my money on that. Now, the recycling event. I was really shocked about the low turnout on this recycling event compared to last week, where we had record-breaking attendance of over 600 cars. This one had maybe 60 cars, so a tenth of the attendance. Now, the funny thing about this one is we had been there once before. We were there last year, and I didn't go because I wasn't needed, because they weren't expecting a huge turnout, because this one, unlike all the other ones, was a private event. It was only for the residents of that town, and they literally had someone at the entrance checking your driver's license to make sure you are a resident. So last year when they did it, they weren't expecting a good turnout because it was limited to the residents of that town. Well, they got overwhelmed and had a great turnout. So my buddy who owns the company asked me if I was wanting to do it this year, and I said, yeah, of course. And the turnout was not so good. Like I said, maybe 75 cars at the most. I don't remember what the actual count was. I didn't even check. But the quality of the things that I got was outstanding. So the value, the type of items that I got, very, very minimal. But the value of these items just blows my mind. So first of all, another GoPro item. I'm still not familiar with GoPro, exactly what they look like. I think this might be a remote or a battery charger or something. I don't know. But again, last week, if you saw my video, I got a GoPro for the first time. I've picked them up at yard sales and garage sales. Never have seen one at a recycling event. Saw one last week for the first time. And now again, I've gotten something GoPro related. I think that's the battery charger. I could be wrong. Game Boy, original Game Boy, OG Game Boy. You can see the screen is really messed up. This thing's discolored. But if it works with a messed up screen, we're probably looking at $50, $60. Not working, maybe $30 for parts. But this is the first time I've seen an OG Game Boy. I've gotten Game Boy Advances, DSIs, that type of thing, but never the OG Game Boy, so that's a first for me. Also for the first for me, PlayStation 5 controllers. Like, who is giving these up already? Two of them, they're a little, let's see, dusty. There's a little hair on there. I don't know if it's cat hair, animal hair, I don't know. But two of them, if they work, and this is the first time I've seen anything PS5, because it just seems like it's too soon for anybody to be getting rid of anything PS5. So if these things work, 30, 35 bucks a piece, and I have no PS5 to check these. Now my niece's boyfriend has one. Maybe I'll ask him to test them for me. The other trick that I have with these is we have a local chain of, it's a game store chain. It's not GameStop, it's of a local chain. And what I do is I bring them in and I said, hey, what would you give, can I get some trade value for this? Or even, cash value. And the first thing that they do is they test them. And, so that's how you can get things tested for free. Now, if you don't like the price, or you can just take advantage of them testing it for you, when they offer you whatever they're going to offer, you can say, oh, that's all right, I was expecting a little bit more, and you can walk out. So that's one way of testing these things. I'll probably take them to my niece's boyfriend instead and see if he'll check them out for me. I'll clean them up and see if he'll check them for me. This thing is unique. It grabbed my attention, so I grabbed it up. This is a dental scanner, dental imaging scanner. Didn't look like much at first. If this thing works, it's worth about $300. My trick, and I'm giving away my secrets, when I have something unique like this, there's no way you can test. I'm not going to give up money if I don't have to give up money. So I could sell it for parts for $100, maybe $150, but why leave money on the table if it actually works? Yet I don't know. So what I'll do is I'll sell it as working, and then I'll let the customer test it for me. So if I get them, sending them a message later on, hey, this thing doesn't work, I thought it was supposed to work, I'll say, I'm sorry about that, please return it, I'll give you full refund. Now, just for the cost of shipping, now they've tested that for me. And I've done many things like this, and 90% of the time, I'm right on. It still works, and I don't leave money on the table, and that's kind of something that I do. This was interesting. This was in a box that was dropped off. These are vintage Tony the Tiger spoons from the 1960s, I think they're dated. Now, these are so corroded, extremely corroded. I probably won't even try to sell these, but I thought it was kind of interesting. This is a PC wand, and it's Hewlett Packard. Not a whole lot on that, maybe $25, $30 on that. Now this Bose, I had a Bose in my last video, if you guys remember, if you saw it. I had a Bose, it was one of the first ones, the old school ones. This is one of the touch ones where you touch it and it turns on and off. It doesn't have the remote, but this is the Wave 3. I think the one that I had before was Wave 1. The Wave 1 didn't work, but they sell really well for parts regardless. I listed that one last week, and I think within 24 hours it sold for $50. Now this Wave 3, extremely more valuable. So I'm assuming this doesn't work. Now I'll test it. It's easy to test, obviously, compared to some of this other stuff. I can test it, throw a CD in there, see if it works. If it works, this top component is worth about $250 to $300. If it doesn't work, it's still worth about $150, $125. The last one that I had, which was just a Wave 1, it sold for $50 and it wasn't even working. Now this bottom component is very interesting. Now it plugs into this top component. So they call this the base component. If that works, that's worth $150 to $175 separately. If it doesn't work, it's still worth $50, $60, something like that. So this whole unit, if it doesn't work, I could probably get about $200 for it. What I'll do is I'll test it and separate the pieces. If one piece works and the other one doesn't, I'll separate them. So one is working, so the other one is non-working. If they're both working, I'll sell it together as working. If they're both non-working, then I'll sell them together as non-working. But bows do really well for me. Working, non-working, poor condition, great condition. I'm expecting at least $200 for that alone. Now this is interesting, and when I get things like this from a recycling events, I'm very blown away when people have very expensive technology, very expensive electronics, and they have quite a bit of it and they never used it. It just always blows me away when I see this. Like, who does that, right? I've seen all sorts of things, brand new, still in the package, expensive stuff. Now these are barcode scanners. You can see right there, this is the Intermec S30, I think is the model number. There's 4 of them. So the top box is the hand scanner, the gun itself. The bottom box is the holster that you can attach to like a countertop or a register or whatever. And then underneath there is all the cables. Currently, no one has one brand new with all the components. They just have the scanner itself, the gun or whatever, the barcode scanner. The cheapest one you can get right now is $150 in brand new condition. You add the stand, you add the cables, you're looking at probably $200 total. I've got 4 of them. Now the thing that I have to be really careful about these is I'm not going to list one and put a quantity of 4 on eBay, because it's a high-priced electronic, and therefore each one has its own serial number. And I want to make sure that each one, the serial number is recorded for that specific unit in case there are problems later. I don't want a bait and switch where someone returns a bad one to me and I don't have any evidence of the serial number of the one that I sent them. So unfortunately, these will be listed separately by the serial number. But again, $200, at least $150 a piece. So we're looking at $600, maybe upwards of $800. Again, the bows, there's another $200 there. $35 a piece. So there's another $100. So we're looking at $1,000, $1,200. Oh, there's this thing. I forgot about this. So we're looking at maybe close to $1,500 just in this alone. So thankful for the recycling event. Thankful, even with the low attendance, the stuff that I found, and it made it for a very good weekend. There you go, guys. There's the recap. Not much, but still quite a bit. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you soon.